Have we got a treat in store for you here today? It's the number 1 team in the nation versus the number 6 seeded Spartans of Tampa here. A berth in the NCAA regional final on the line in this game. The winner of this game would advance to that regional final tomorrow. The loser would have a tough route remaining. They would have to play immediately following this game a lead team that has already beaten Alabama Huntsville today 10-4, and then they would have to win 2 games tomorrow. So perhaps you could say that this is the regional final in this game right here. It's the number 1 team in the country, the Argos of West Florida, versus the reigning national champions in the visitors' dugout on the first base side. Hello, I'm Noah Frary saying welcome here to Jim Spooner Field in Pensacola, Florida, as we get set for this heavyweight matchup between two. A ball and 2 strikes now. And Brewer will pick up the strike. Start for him. A strikeout looking of Cadenas for the first out. And that'll bring up E.J. Cumbo. Cumbo on the season, he's been one of the best hitters in this Tampa lineup, if not the best, hitting .393 entering this game. Cumbo a .440 on-base percentage this year. The sophomore out of East Meadow, New York. He's a transfer from New York Tech. Prior to this season, it was an honors-laden freshman year for him, a .437 batting average at New York Tech. Brewer working quickly, ahead in the count 0-1. An out in the frame already after the strikeout to the first batter. 2 balls and a strike. Brewer following behind Cumbo, and that's not something opponents oftentimes like to do to a player who's hitting as well as he is this year. He enters this game with a 7-game hitting streak, a 19-game on-base streak that he'll look to keep alive. 2 for 4 yesterday against Lee. He had a run scored and a couple of RBIs in that come-from-behind victory. Ooh, and that one looked like it hurt. Fouls it right off his leg. We saw Matthew Estrada do that the other evening. Those do not feel good. And the trainer quickly out to talk to Cumbo. He'll be staring at a 2-2 pitch. You have to hope he'll be okay. Two balls and 2 strikes. Cumbo up and walking around. Oftentimes those just sting right off the meat of your leg, and definitely will have a mark there tomorrow when he wakes up. He'd trade the mark, though, if it meant his team would advance to the regional final tomorrow. 2 balls and 2 strikes as he steps back in the batter's box. In that start for Brewer that we've alluded to several times already, he would only give up 2 runs on 89 pitches. He then turned over the keys, and Brennan Case was able to finish that one as the Argos would win their first Gulf South Conference title since 2007. They took out a Delta State team that had won 15 of those titles. They'd been in the game 20 times. So far this year, it's been a special season for this West Florida team. They've been consistently inside the top 10 for the last couple of weeks. Now ranked all the way at number 1 in the nation. Cumbo, that one skied into center field. Manhennett drifting back on it. He'll make the play just in front of the warning track for out number 2. Wind blowing towards right field, and this one coming out of the north. So perhaps we'll see some home runs today with that wind behind us, aiding that ball as Cumbo sent one deep to center on his first swing of the game. That'll bring up Drew Earhart. Earhart on the season has been great, a .328 hitter, primarily out of the 3-hole this year. He would get off to a strong start in March, struggled a bit in April, but has been hot here in May. 4 for 9 in these regionals is Earhart, the junior out of Tampa, Florida. He'll watch a ball to even the count. Grounder to third. That'll get over Fontenot's head. And Tampa will have their first base runner on the single by Earhart.
Now batting left fielder number 24, Jamarcus Lyons.
And that'll bring up the left fielder, Jamarcus Lyons. Lyons seeing his first action here today, making his 19th start of the season. He was 2 for 3 with a home run yesterday against Lee. Lyons, the sophomore out of Tampa, Florida. He's a close family friend of the Dowdies, who we saw Tyler pitch last evening. Tyler's dad coaching him for a long time. He'll line a single up the middle. Back-to-back hits now with 2 outs for Tampa, and they'll have a runner in scoring position. This Tampa team still very highly ranked this year, but if you'd ask people around the program, they would say it's been a bit of a down year for this program. But they are still one of the most feared teams in all of Division II. And one of their calling cards is their bats. A couple of hits here with 2 outs as they force Ryan Brewer's pitch count up a bit here in the first inning. He had cruised through the first 2 batters. But then Earhart and Lyons lining singles with 2 outs. That pitch will miss off the corner. Brewer, a first pitch breaking ball that he misses with. ball and no strikes, 2 outs in the frame. Tampa threatening for an early run. Look for Joe Urso, the third base coach, and the head coach of this team to perhaps be aggressive on a ball into the outfield. Estrada awfully deep in right. Dan Sullivan in there, the junior out of Palatine, Illinois. .355 hitter on the season. He was 0 for 1 yesterday with an RBI. 1 for 4 in these regionals. That one, hard hit back up the middle. Off of Brewer, Hancock gets to it and able to recover. That one looked ticketed for center field, but Brewer, the hockey-type kick save. And that'll be the third out of the inning. Tampa threatens, but unable to push a run across. It'll take us to the bottom of the first inning. Miller Hancock will lead it off for West Florida. And as we welcome you back here at the bottom of the first inning, Ryan Brewer giving up a couple of 2-out base knocks, but stranding both of those runners as he had a kick save play that deflected to Hancock, the throw to first in time. It's Nick Constantakos finishing up his warm-up pitches for Tampa, the junior out of Jupiter, Florida. 7th appearance of the season here today, 14 1/3 innings pitched, a 3.77 ERA. Let's take a look at the Argos lineup he'll face. It'll be the shortstop Miller Hancock leading it off. He was 3 for 3 last evening. Cullen O'Shea, the first baseman, he'll bat second. Dylan Menhennett in the 3-hole, he'll bat third. Adam and Wally hits four hits last night, a new career high for him. Wally. Justin Dunham in the 5-hole. A couple of big RBI doubles so far in this tournament. He'll bat fifth and play left field. Estrada hitting sixth. He'll be in right field. Sam Clement behind the plate. He's the catcher. Tyler Dowdy, who had that great outing last night, the designated hitter, and True Fontenot at third base. A first pitch strike out of the hand of Constantakos. Hancock now quickly down in the count, 0-2 on the season. Miller Hancock, actually that 3 for 3 game was in the first game he played in this tournament. 1 for 4 last night, but 4 for 7 in these championships. The redshirt junior out of Mabin, Mississippi, hitting .373 on the season. A bouncer there in the dirt, and Hancock able to lay off it. Now Hancock fouls off a tough pitch. Hancock entering today on a 31-game on-base streak. Second on the team, though, behind Dylan Menhennett, who's been on base in 34 consecutive games. The top of this lineup has been on base a ton this year. This Argos team averages over 10 hits per game on the season. Now 2-2. For Constantakos, as we mentioned, making his 7th appearance on the season. He's gone 3 or more innings in 4 of his 6 outings this year. Just missed off the corner. The right-hander out of Jupiter, Florida. Went to Jupiter Christian School. He's a transfer from Charleston Southern University, Division I school. He transferred prior to last season, and he majors in criminology. That one hammered. Hancock, that one may get out of here, and it will! Miller Hancock goes big fly. Goodbye baseball. And just like that, West Florida an early lead on Hancock's home run. Hancock, his second home run of the season. The last one came at West Georgia. He homers here, and just like that, West Florida out to an early lead. We mentioned the wind blowing out a bit here today, but that one, it wouldn't have mattered. Absolutely crushed. And that brings up Cullen O'Shea hitting in the 2-hole. He would homer last night. As we get deeper into this game, we'll talk about that game last night for West Florida. It was an interesting one. We were here at the ballpark for a long time. O'Shea, a .330 hitter, entering play today. The redshirt junior out of Mobile, Alabama. He's one of just 2 players to play in every single game this year. Him and Dylan Menhennet, who bats next. A tapper back to Constantakos. He'll field his position well. Flip to first. Out number 1 now as Dylan Menhennet comes to the plate.
Center fielder, number 6, Dylan Menhennet.
First pitch strikes to both batters for Cadenas. Make it Constantakos. Cadenas, the center fielder here today. Menhennet, he has also now made starts in 46 consecutive games. The redshirt senior, highly decorated this year, hitting .390. Him and O'Shea have been a major part of why this Argos team finds themselves as the top-ranked team in the country at this moment. Menhennet swings over that breaking ball to even the count on the season. Menhennet, he's hit safely in 40 of those 45 games, and get this, 38 of his last 41 games. He would go 2 for 3 last night, picking up just his first hit since he saw that 31-game hitting streak end. A ball and 2 strikes here. Constantakos looking for the second out of the inning. He goes to the breaking ball, and that'll miss just off that outside corner. Two balls, 2 strikes, and an out. Menhennet fouls that one off. Is there room to make the play over near the dugout? And that one just foul, very nearly hitting our camera guy over there on top of the first base dugout. Menhennet, after he saw that 31-game hitting streak come to an end, he went 2 games hitless. It was just the first time all year he's done that. Menhennet, that one into right. Plenty of room for Cumbo. He'll camp underneath it and make the catch for out number 2.
Now batting, second baseman, number 14, Adam Imwali.
And that'll bring up Adam Imwali, one of the hottest hitters on this team right now. He was 4 for 4 last evening, 4 singles, drove in a pair, and scored a run. He's hitting .555 in these championships right now, is Imwali. Imwali, those 4 hits last evening, tying a career high that he set back in March of 2019. He'll watch a first pitch ball out of the hand of Constantakos. Working with a deficit right now after Hancock got this game started in a hurry. A lengthy home run into left center field for the redshirt junior. Imwali on the season now leads the Argos in batting average. The redshirt senior out of Sarasota, Florida, hitting .398 as he steps in for his first plate appearance. Sky-high pop-up in the infield. Who will get it? Flint called off. Earhart will make a circus catch for the final out of the inning, but the damage done. Miller Hancock leads the game off with a home run, his second of the year. It's 1-0 West Florida as we head to the second here in Jim Spooner Field. Ryan Brewer making his way back out there.
Hi, I'm Mark Emmert, president of the NCAA. At the NCAA, we know that readers become leaders. While the young men and women who play college sports may be tremendous athletes, each and every one of them is also a student pursuing a college degree. As a parent, you're your child's first and most important teacher. Encourage your kids to read daily. Start the habit early by reading with them when they're young. Then have them read to you for about 30 minutes a day when they get a little bit older. Reading prepares children for lifelong opportunity and allows them to create great mysteries and stories and explore the world through their own mind. Very few student athletes will go on to play sports professionally, which is why their education is so important. What they learn through reading and through the classroom prepares them for life after sports. So pick up a book and help set your kids on the path to opportunity.
The right-hander, Ryan Brewer, back out there warming up as we get set to begin the second inning here at Jim Spooner Field. He'll be working with a lead, something Tyler Dowdy was able to do last night after West Florida would strike for 4 in that top of the first inning. He'll head back out there after a 20-pitch first inning. He had first-pitch strikes to 3 of the 5 batters he faced. He gave up a couple of hits with 2 outs, and that'll bring up the designated hitter and 6-hole hitter today, Luke Glancy. Glancy, the graduate student out of Andover, Massachusetts. Wow, that was a tongue twister. As we mentioned, it was a long day at the ballpark here yesterday. We got the first game started around 11 a.m., and we didn't wrap that last game up until close to 1 a.m. That last game between West Florida and Delta State, in a game that the Argos would ultimately eliminate the Statesmen. We saw multiple delays, one for lights and another one a 2-hour and 24-minute rain delay. O'Shea briefly bobbles it, regains control, and flips to Brewer for the first out of the inning.
Now batting, second baseman, number 11, J.D. Urso.
And that'll bring up J.D. Urso, the son of head coach Joe Urso, a freshman out of Tampa. He played his high school ball at H.B. Plant High School, another one of those connections to the Dowdies. Tyler and J.D. went toe-to-toe multiple times during their high school careers down in that Tampa area. If I remember the story I was told correctly, they had to play each other multiple times during Dowdy's and Urso's senior year. And there was 2 games that were played, and Tyler Dowdy homered in both of those games. Urso, a very talented player. We saw him start at shortstop in this first game of the championships. He's since slid over to second base, and he's been very good over there. Hitting .311 on the season. A bouncer by Brewer misses, trying to get Urso to perhaps chase, but he's able to lay off of it. Back to that game last night. It got started at 7:15. We briefly saw a light delay as a couple of the lights in left field would go out, and then later on, I believe if I remember correctly, it was in the 8th inning. We had to stop because of lightning. It took about an hour and a half before the rain finally came. The tarp was on the field. It rained for about 30 minutes, and then we got the game restarted at after midnight. West Florida would go on to win that one, and I promised you a great story about last night's game, and it revolves around last night's starter, Tyler Dowdy. Oftentimes after lengthy rain delays, you don't normally see the starter come back out there. But the freshman, they call him the Diesel down in the Argos dugout. He had some more gas in the tank, and in order to stay warm during that lengthy rain delay, the Argos actually put him in their laundry room. They turned on the dryers. That one hammered to left field. Dunham, he's going to have room. He'll make the catch. 2 outs now in the inning, but they turned on the dryers in the room and kind of turned it into, as they put it, a sweat lounge. And Dowdy sat in there. He had a good post-game or a mid-game meal, got some barbecue in him, and then came back out, warmed up. After 2.5 hours of sitting, went back in the ball game and threw the final 2 innings. The second time in his career that he's gone 9 innings. The last was against the number 2 ranked team at the time, the Lee University Flames. So a couple of big starts for him against some primetime teams. Brewer working quickly on the mound. That one lined foul. Just foul. Brewer, he's thrown first pitch strikes now to 6 of the 8 batters he's faced as Josh Ruley, the catcher, steps in. Ruley hitting .281 on the season. He attended Riverview High School in Riverview, Florida. A cybersecurity major at Tampa. A ball and 2 strikes now with 2 outs. Brewer looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning if he can retire Ruley here. That one very nearly caught the jersey of Josh Ruley. As they say, buzzing the tower a bit on that pitch. The Argos, if you're looking ahead, they'll have Justin Dunham, Matthew Estrada, and Sam Clement due up in the bottom of the inning. Good job here by Ruley, really battling. We mentioned the elevated pitch count for Brewer in that first inning. Got the first 2 batters in this inning on just 8 pitches. But Ruley battling at the plate, trying to push that pitch count of Brewer's higher. And Brewer will win the battle. He picks up his second strikeout of the game. He gets Josh Ruley swinging. A 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the second inning. It'll be Justin Dunham to lead it off when we come back as the Argos look to tack more on after scoring 1 in the first.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
As we welcome you back, it's Nick Constantakos out on the mound. Constantakos, a efficient first inning, 19 pitches for him, but it was a leadoff home run by Miller Hancock that did the damage. That one a lengthy home run into left center field. Justin Dunham will lead it off for West Florida. He steps into the batter's box with a .322 batting average. The graduate student out of Saraland, Alabama, making his 41st start of the season. 2 for 5 last evening. He had a big 2 RBI double in that game. Dunham last night would also pick up a hit later on. Actually, he had a hit in that first inning. 2 hits sandwiched in a 2 for 5 performance for him last evening. 1-0 West Florida. They checked to first and said that Dunham goes around on it. Constantakos now thrown first pitch strikes to 3 of 5 batters. Dunham, that one knuckling into center field. It'll get down. And West Florida will have a base runner here to begin the second. Dunham is now hit safely in 33 games this season. And that'll bring up Matthew Estrada, the redshirt junior, a graduate of Pensacola Catholic High School right in this area, the hometown kid. He'll make his 41st start of the season. He was 0 for 4, although had an RBI and a sac fly last night. 0 for 6 in these championships, so perhaps one of the Argos looking to get it going here today. Dunham goes early in the count. Ruley throws down, the throw sails high, and Dunham slides in safely. For Dunham, it's his 5th stolen base of the season. And that brings up Matthew Estrada still at the plate. Now with a chance to drive in a run. Estrada, since moving down in the lineup late in the season, he's been getting runners in very efficiently. He's had an RBI in 10 of his last 14 games. And 13 of his 29 RBIs this season have come in his last 14 games. An RBI spot right here for the Argos right fielder. He hits .360 on the season with runners in scoring position. He shows bunt and lays one down foul. Now a ball and 2 strikes on Estrada, unable to get the sacrifice down and move Dunham to third with just 1 out. Dunham on the season, he's scored 31 times. That stolen base, as we mentioned, his 6th on the season. Estrada will watch a ball there to even the count at 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Dunham in scoring position here as the Argos look to strike again in the second. They lead 1-0 in this top 10 battle here in the South Region Tournament. 3-2 now. Estrada this year, 17 walks on the campaign, 18 strikeouts for him, so a very good ratio right there. He's not a type of player that'll swing and miss a lot. That 0-for-4 performance for him last night, all 4 of those outs were ground outs to the right side of the infield. There was 3 to second and 1 to first. Three balls and 2 strikes. Long pause from Constantakos, and that one lined into right field. Dunham is going to have to stay put at third. Cumbo has a great arm out there in right. But Estrada, a base hit, and the Argos of West Florida in business here in the second. And that'll bring up Sam Clement.
Catcher number 33, Sam Clement.
Clement hitting .370 on the season. He hits .500 with runners in scoring position. The Argos with a runner at third and nobody out in the inning. Clement 1 for 5 last evening, a couple of strikeouts. He caught all 9 innings. As much as we talked about pitchers and trying to stay warm in that game, you've got to imagine Clement, too, had to be feeling it at the end of that one. Those catchers having to squat a lot. It's easier when you're in the moment, but after sitting for a couple of hours, I'm sure that one felt great at the end of the night. I'm sure he was thankful around 1 a.m. to get into bed and get off those legs a bit. Tampa, while West Florida was playing last night, they were back sleeping at the hotel. They were able to take care of business early on in the day and be able to wait and watch that game. I'm sure they were sitting back there watching some of that Delta State West Florida game in the hotel last evening. I would tend to believe at some point they went to bed, though. 0-1 pitch upcoming to Clement. Bruley got way outside, perhaps a cross-up there. It seemed like he was breaking as if expecting the breaking ball on that pitch. But then it looked like the fastball came. A ball and a strike now, 1-0 West Florida here in the second. The runner goes, and that one chopped over third. They're coming home with it. Dunham's going to slide in safely. Estrada into third. And Clement back to first. It's an RBI single for Sam Clement. And West Florida will lead this one 2-0. A great job there by Clement to put the ball in play. Heads-up play, though, by Earhart to try to get Dunham at home. That throw, though, just a bit offline. And West Florida, they'll lead this one 2-0 here in the early going. And that'll bring up Tyler Dowdy, last night's hero, as he went 9 innings pitched on the mound. We'll actually say that was a fielder's choice for Clement as he reaches first base. It'll be an RBI nonetheless. Estrada advancing to third on the throwing error by the third baseman, Earhart. Dunham scoring on the play to give West Florida a 2-0 advantage, and that's where that stolen base early on in the inning looms large. He got over there with nobody out. And then Estrada advanced him to third, and Sam Clement did his job getting him in. Dowdy, big swing and a miss there, 0-2 now. Tyler Dowdy on the season, hitting .321. It was midway through the year, and perhaps some of it was the struggles that Jason Roberts started to go to at the end of the year, that Dowdy started to get more regular at bats. Now normally he'll pitch in game 2 and hit in the games that he doesn't pitch. He was 1 for 4 the other evening against Shorter. That hit early on in that game, but he also had 3 strikeouts. And talking with him, he felt like he was a bit off at the plate. Maybe trying to do a little bit too much out there. But he more than made up for it in last night's game. Dowdy, a grounder to short. Can they turn 2? The throw around the diamond in time to get Tyler Dowdy. A run will score on the play. And I can't tell what just happened. It looks like they're sending Estrada back to third. Either way, it's a double play. And they're going to send Matthew Estrada back to third base. A 6-4-3 ground ball double play. It may have been interference by Sam Clement at second base. Either way now, 2 outs in the inning. And True Fontenot stepping in. Estrada still at third. The Argos thought for a moment there that they had scored their third run of the ball game, but the third base umpire seeing it differently. Casey Smith over there at third. Gary Keller behind the plate today. Trevor Hinson at first base, and Lindy Hall making out this 4-man crew. Constant Tacos, he's thrown first pitch strikes to every batter in this inning so far. Now ahead on Fontenot. A ball and 2 strikes as he looks to limit the damage at just 2. Estrada 90 feet away. He scored 26 times this year. And Fontenot will swing and miss to end the inning. West Florida, they score 1, but they thought they had a second run. Instead, they get out of the inning. Tampa does. It's 2-0 the score as we head to the third. Tampa will come back to bat, and it'll be the shortstop Flint to lead it off when we come back.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Ryan Brewer back out there. A 20-pitch first inning for him, but just a 14-pitch second inning as he would send Tampa down in order. Now his team has given him a 2-0 lead to work with. He'll miss upstairs. That's just the first time he hasn't thrown a first pitch strike in the last couple of batters. He's been doing a good job so far in this outing at staying ahead of the Tampa batters. The shortstop, Christian Flint, batting, making his 6th start of the season. He started consecutive games now at shortstop. 1 for 3 yesterday. A run scored and a double. That was against Lee University in that come-from-behind game. I've mentioned that a couple times. Early on in that game, Tampa was losing 6-0. I believe it was a 6-run second inning. And then Tampa would quickly storm back, scoring 5 runs in that bottom of the second inning. 11 runs scored combined between the two teams in that second inning. And then Tampa would not look back after that. They would tack on 7 more and ultimately go on to win that game. Popper in the infield. O'Shea will make the play for out number 1. An out now in the inning as Flint pops out, and that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Jose Cadenas. He struck out looking to begin this game for Tampa. Cadenas, a junior this year, a transfer from Hillsborough Community College. Across his 2 seasons there, he would hit .232, appeared in 49 games during his JUCO career. Last year, though, a good start to his Tampa career, hitting .284. He played in all 22 games in center field and hit leadoff primarily for the Spartans. Joe Urso, clearly, he makes a living on getting these JUCO kids. He prefers players coming in that are a lot more seasoned. Each year, there's only about 2 to 3 freshmen on the team. A pop-up there by Cadenas. And Fontenot will make the play at third for the second out. 2 quick outs here for Brewer as he looks to be getting in somewhat of a groove out there on the mound, but a tough cookie at the plate in E.J. Cumbo. Cumbo, he isn't a very assuming player if you stand next to him, just 5'8", 180 pounds, but he packs a punch. Truly a 5-tool player. We saw him show off the arm in the first inning, 5 home runs on the year, leading this Tampa squad. He's stolen a couple of bases. His hit tool, phenomenal. He'll line one into center field. Menhennet back on it, and he will make the play. The second consecutive 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Brewer. The Argos coming back to bat, and when they do, it'll be Miller Hancock, who led off the game with a home run, who will bat first.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a
As Miller Hancock steps back in. Nick Constantaco's still out there. He's finished his warm-up pitches. Constantaco's coming into this start. He's gone 3 consecutive outings, going 3 or more innings pitched. The last one, though, he gave up a season-high 4 earned runs against Florida Southern. That was one of the final games that Tampa would play before this regional tournament, as they would sit for nearly a month. There was a couple of cancellations and ultimately a decreased schedule due to some rules this year that the Sunshine State Conference had implemented in terms of how and when teams could play and different things like that. And so Tampa playing an uncharacteristically small schedule this year, just 23 games starting today, 22 before today. And so they kind of came in as a bit of an unknown into this tournament. But so far they've looked very good and giving the Argos all they can handle right now. As we mentioned in the pregame, this Tampa team, a storied history, 8 national championships for them. Oftentimes the title in Division II has to go through Tampa. They are the reigning national champions. Winning in 2019, they would play Delta State in the Super Regional after both Tampa and Delta State advanced out of the regional. And then they would go on to win the national championship in 2019. Hancock over second. He'll have his second hit as he laces a single into right field. The single by Hancock, his second hit. And what a regionals he is having. Hancock now with the 2 hits today. Now 6 for 9, hitting .667 in these regionals. He had that 3-hit game in the first game, 1 for 4 last night, and now a pair of hits early. That'll bring up Cullen O'Shea. O'Shea just 1 for 7 now in these regionals. That one hit, though, a lengthy home run in yesterday's game, late in that game, to right field. There haven't been many home runs to right field in this tournament so far, as the wind has been blowing in from right for a majority of this tournament. The power alley so far this week has been into that left center field gap and even down the line in left field. We've seen the Argos hit multiple home runs, as did Lee earlier today. We've seen Tampa hit a couple. The ball has been flying out of Jim Spooner Field so far this week. Constantaco's entered this inning with 38 pitches. The leadoff hitter, though, Hancock, reaching against him on the single. Nice pitch there. There was nothing O'Shea could have done with that pitch. Beautifully placed by Constantakos. Constantakos, he clearly has probably one of the better names in Division II. Oftentimes my job as a broadcaster is to know how to say these names, and I loved when I went on the Tampa website in preparation for this week, and they had it phonetically spelt out, and it was phonetically spelt the exact same way you would think, the word constant and tacos. And I said, I enjoy constantly getting tacos as well. I'm sure he'd be a fun guy to go to Taco Tuesday with. A ball and 2 strikes, a check to first. But so far, he's done a good job early on in this outing. The Argos have not made it easy on him. They've put runners on base. But so far, just the 2 runs allowed, and one of them on that home run by Hancock. The Argos have stranded 1 runner on base, aided by that ground ball double play he would get. There goes Hancock. He'll slide in and called out. That one awfully close at second. He's been a hard person to pick off this year. Just 4 caught stealings. Now with that one right there. Nice throw by Ruley to gun down Hancock. And again, a strong defensive play. We saw one last inning on that double play to pick up the 2 outs, the first 2 outs of that inning. And now Ruley gunning down Hancock on the bases. A strong tag there by the shortstop. A 2-6 put out for the first out of the inning if you're keeping track at home. I want to thank you for joining us. If this is just your first game of these NCAA regionals, we say welcome. If not, we appreciate you coming back multiple times. Good battle here brewing in Pensacola. O'Shea That one back up the middle. Urso on the backhand. What a play. Tampa has clearly brought the defense to the yard today. O'Shea out on the ground out to second for the second out of the inning. Championship teams, and as we mentioned, that's something that Tampa has been known for. They're normally built around defense and pitching, and then they'll sprinkle in a good lineup. And that is exactly how this Tampa team is constructed. Joe Urso, he's taken this team to the promised land multiple times. He clearly knows how to build a team that's built for this time of year. It was funny, I came over here to talk with him prior to this tournament that first day. I guess it would have been Wednesday. I made the trip over here for about 30 minutes to have a quick conversation. You know, as I mentioned, this Tampa team, a bit of an unknown. I haven't personally seen them before. A great conversation, though, with him. And the thing that sticks out most to me was when I first met him, he was wearing his national championship ring from 2019. I went to shake his hand, and magically that ring kind of popped up on the top of his hand. This Tampa team has made a living at the end of the season and doing it again this year. But this year, having to go through one of the most talented teams in Division II if they hope to defend that national championship. As we mentioned, the road gets increasingly difficult following this game. The winner would sit and wait in that regional championship. That game scheduled for tomorrow. That regional championship game scheduled to take place at noon. A win there by the team with one loss would then force another game around 3:30 tomorrow. But the loser of this game, they're going to have to sit for about an hour, and then they'll have to take on Lee University later on this evening. Constant Tacos, a 1-2-3 inning as he strikes out Dylan Menhennen, aided by that caught stealing. A nice throw by Josh Ruley. Tampa flashing the leather here in the bottom of the third inning. It's 2-0 as Ryan Brewer goes back out.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Ryan Brewer back out there for West Florida. It was a 20-pitch first inning for him, but just 24 pitches combined over the next two innings. And so far, he has held this Tampa offense at bay. They threatened in that first inning, but able to get out of it on a kick save of sorts. Pensacola, the home of the Pensacola Ice Flyers, who just won the SPHL championship. And perhaps Brewer has been watching some goalies in the sport of hockey, because he kicked that ball right to Hancock, who fielded it and threw it strongly across the diamond to just get Sullivan at first base. A nice defensive play, and we've seen several of those already. A majority out of the Tampa side early on in this game. Both of these teams, though, as we mentioned, built well for this time of year. Strong defenses, good hitting, timely hitting, and good pitching. That one will miss outside as Brewer issues a leadoff walk. Just the first batter to reach in the last 7 against him. That brings up Jamarcus Lyons with Drew Earhart now on first base. Lyons, as we mentioned early on, having a great season for Tampa. He's hit safely in now 15 games this year. And he's been hot lately. He's had multiple hits in 5 of his last 9 games. And when you pick up a hit in the first inning, that'll give you multiple opportunities to pick up another 2-hit performance. He's a big dude in that box, standing in at just 5'8". No one in this Tampa outfield particularly tall, but he's a big dude, 220 pounds standing in that right-handed batter's box. Lyons from that Tampa area. We mentioned a connection to the Doughty family earlier on. They've played against him for many years. He's majoring in communications at Tampa University. He was an honorable mention All-American back in 2018, according to Rawlings. He, however, though, down in the count right here, a ball and 2 strikes. Brewer, a couple of strikeouts already. He has his 3rd as Lyons swings and misses on a pitch right in on his hands. A beautifully placed ball there by Ryan Brewer. There was nothing that Lyons could have done. You just hope to foul it off at that point. 3rd strikeout for Brewer, and it's the first out here in the 4th. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Dan Sullivan. He grounded into that 1-6-3 putout to end the first inning on that kick save that we were mentioning a moment ago by Ryan Brewer. That one looked like it was ticketed to center field, and with a runner on second, it probably would have got a run in. They're going to double the runner off now. Sullivan lines to Imwali. He catches it on the fly, and they get Earhart at first place to double him up. With the double play, another 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Brewer. He's rolling in Pensacola, and his team clearly out to a 2-0 lead here early on.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Nick Constantakos back out there, about to start his 4th inning of work. Ryan Brewer able to get through his 4th inning on that line drive double play to end it. Nick Earhart was at first base, and Drew Earhart, I beg your pardon, was at first base, and there was nothing he could do right there after Imwali caught that one. He was caught in the middle, and Imwali able to relay the ball over to O'Shea for the final out of the inning. Constantakos, 54 pitches. Through the first 3 innings of this game, back-to-back 19-pitch innings to start and a 16-pitch third, aided by that caught stealing. He would retire the side for the first time in his outing today. And quickly Pitching Weldon Wally gets that first pitch strike call. Brewer, 54 pitches in this outing through 2 innings. He's had back-to-back 10-pitch innings. And Wally, that one tattooed into left. It'll go off the fence and roll around, and Wally will coast into second with a double. And West Florida in business again here in the fourth. For Wally, it's his 10th double of the season. And after getting out in his first at-bat, he picks it right back up. That average was at 398 as we climbed into today. And now goes back up yet again. Now sitting at an even 400. 3 of the Argos' top 4 hitters in their lineup hitting over 380 this season. And that'll bring up Justin Dunham. He singled, then stole second and came around to score in that second inning. The second run scored for West Florida. This West Florida team, one of the toughest in all of Division II. A beautiful bunt, but it'll roll foul. Dunham trying to sacrifice Wally over to third. When you talk with coaches around the Gulf South as well as in preparation for this tournament and talking with Tampa, they all talk about how this West Florida team just grinds at bats out. He said oftentimes several of the coaches have said you feel like you're playing right with them. And next thing you know, you look up on the scoreboard and it's 5-0. They have the ability to just grind out at bats. They put a lot of base runners on base. They aren't overly reliant on the home run. This team averages over 10 hits per game on the season. They can win in a lot of different ways. And Wally caught up between second and third. He's going to get tagged out for the second consecutive inning. The Argos make a mistake on the base pass. And Wally perhaps leaning, maybe the hit and run was on. Next thing you know, he was tagged out. Picked off between second and third on a 1-5 pickoff. First out of the inning, and for the second inning in a row, the leadoff runner has been reached, but has been retired by a caught stealing and now a pickoff. Tampa again showing some good defense out here today and good awareness on the base pass. They've also turned to double play in this one. Both teams have clearly come to play. Dunham, a tapper to first. It's going to be a race to the bag. Constantakos and Dunham going to win the battle. Dunham, another single, now 2 for 2. And right there, that's where it makes a big difference, being a left-handed batter. As a lefty, you are a little bit closer to first base when you get out of the batter's box, maybe a step or two, and that's all that mattered right there was a step or two. Is Dunham able to just get there in front of the tag by Constantakos? As soon as you saw Sullivan have to field that one, you knew it was going to be a race to the bag, and Dunham, one of the fastest runners on this West Florida squad, just able to beat Constantakos there, who clearly has done some work on fielding his position. A 2-hit day now for Justin Dunham for West Florida. He continues a hot stretch here at the end of the year. He's now had multi-hit outings in 17 games this year. Dunham last evening, he scored 3 runs in that game. It tied a season high. He scored 3 runs, had an RBI. Beg your pardon, I was looking at the wrong player right there. Dunham, though, picked up a couple of RBIs, 2 hits last night. That 2-hit performance, now his 26th of the season. A check to first now. Matthew Estrada at the plate. With speed on the base pass, we saw Dunham run last time, and Estrada, a good contact hitter. Maybe a chance here to hit and run as Estrada swings and misses on a pitch away. Wally doubled to lead off the inning and then was picked off. And now Dunham singling and Perhaps you could opine that maybe Imwali would have been able to score. That one, though, in the infield, so probably not. But either way, the Argos could have been set up with runners on first and third, but instead, a runner on first base and one out. Two 2-0 ball game here in Pensacola. You're watching NCAA Regional Baseball on the UWF Sports Network here this afternoon. I'm Noah Frary, saying thanks for joining us. A very warm day out here at the Spoon, as fans of West Florida affectionately call this ballpark. And Estrada ropes one into right. Dunham around second. He'll go to third. Estrada, his second hit of the ball game. And West Florida in business here in the fourth. Runners on first and third and just one out. Seven hits early on in this game for West Florida. We mentioned they average over 10 per game. And any team that averages that many hits in a game, they become increasingly difficult to beat. Now we're going to see a reliever running down to the Tampa bullpen. It looks like it was Alex Passarella who pitched in that first game of these regionals. Runners in scoring position, and Clemente hits .480 in these situations on the year. A .366 hitter at the plate. He shows bunt. Perhaps a safety squeeze right there. In that situation, Clement trying to bunt the ball to third, which allows Dunham to perhaps come home and score. We'll see if that play is still on. Situations like this, West Florida oftentimes, they like to create havoc on the base paths. Maybe a good spot here to send Estrada. 0-1 pitch with one out here. West Florida threatening in the fourth. Clement, that one into the outfield. And dropping in a hurry. Cadenas will make the play. Dunham tagging. He'll come home, and West Florida, they'll lead 3-0. A sac fly for Clement as he drives in the run, the 23rd RBI of the season for the Argos catcher. A good piece of situational hitting right there. He knew he had to get the ball on the ground to the right side or in the air to the outfield, and he does just that. Dunham comes in to score the second run of the ball game as Clement has driven in two in this game. A nice running play there by Cadenas, though, in center field. For a brief moment, I thought that ball was going to drop in, and he came out of nowhere to make that catch. Two outs now in the inning. (3-0) the score. Tyler Dowdy, who grounded into that 6-4-3 double play in the second inning, back out there. He tried to check his swing, but it looked like it was called a strike by the home plate umpire, Gary Keller. 3 runs on 7 hits. No errors for West Florida. No runs, 2 hits, and an error for Tampa. A strike called there on the outside corner. Dowdy shakes his head a bit. That pitch has been called throughout this game. A ball and 2 strikes now with 2 outs. Constantakos, he's allowed 3 runs through the game's first 4 innings and trying to get out of it here. That ball, swing and a miss, deflected off the catcher. Rulli, the throw in time to get Dowdy at first. Josh Rulli had to make a athletic play to get to that ball after it had deflected off his shin guards. He does. But West Florida, they score another run here in the 4th inning. 3-0 the score as we head to the 5th in Pensacola.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Ryan Brewer efficient through 4 innings. 54 pitches through him through the game's first 4 frames. He sent Tampa down in order in the last couple of innings. They've had base runners, though. But the last inning ending on a line drive double play off the bat of the first baseman, Sullivan. And now Luke Glancy, the designated hitter, leading off the inning with a single. And that'll bring up the second baseman, J.D. Urso. Urso flying out to left field in his first plate appearance. He'll bat with a runner on, though. On the season, Urso with runners on base at .314 hitter, a bit above his season average of .306. A ball and no strikes. The runner on first base, Glancy, after he led the inning off with a single. There haven't been many base runners on Ryan Brewer with the exception of the 2 hits in the first inning. Just the fourth base runner of the game for Tampa. They've stranded 2 on base. One of them aided for West Florida with that inning-ending line drive double play. They were able to double off Earhart at first base on that line out to Mwali. Urso battling at the plate, a ball and a strike. Urso, he had a good showing in the Collegiate Summer League last summer. He hit .373 for the Seminole Snappers. Perhaps a big reason why, as a freshman, like we mentioned, Joe Urso, there's not a lot of freshmen on this team, but J.D. Urso, one of them. There goes the runner from first. The hit and run was on. Definitely not a straight steal. You could see the runner at first base, Glancy, looking towards the plate to see if contact was made. Urso able to make contact, but fouled back to the netting. Brewer working out of the stretch with runners on. That one tapped into shallow right field. Coming on is Estrada. He'll make the catch. Estrada, he plays a deep right field, but showing off the wheels right there and able to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Urso 2 flyouts in the ball game now, and that'll bring up the catcher, Josh Ruley, who struck out swinging in the second, but he had a caught stealing on someone who's been hard to catch all season long in Miller Hancock. A beautiful throw to second to get Hancock after he had led off the third inning with a single. And out in the inning now. And Brewer misses with that latest pitch. He has a 3-0 lead. So far in this tournament, the West Florida pitchers have gone out there and they've had leads to work with. certainly allows you to breathe a bit more on the mound. We saw Tyler Dowdy last evening. He had a 7-1 advantage by the end of the second inning. And Brewer a bit smaller here against a better team in Tampa, 3-0. But so far, that's been all he's needed, is he's working well out on the mound. He'll check to first. Clancy sliding back safely. Swing and a miss there. A big swing by Ruley. Brewer not overpowering stuff on the mound. He does have a good fastball, but relies a lot on the secondary pitches. He keeps you off balance as a hitter, and perhaps allowing that fastball to play up a little added velocity due to the good breaking stuff that he has. Brewer, he is a transfer from Pensacola State Community College here in the Pensacola area. He did that prior to last season. Last year, though, only making one start for West Florida. He went 5 1/3, gave up a couple of runs in that short in-season. Grounder through the left side. And Tampa, a couple of base runners here in the inning as Ruley picks up his first hit of the ball game. Now runners on first and second off of Brewer. For Ruley, his third hit of the tournament. He's 3 for 6, and that's going to lead to a mound visit. Out to talk with Ryan Brewer. I briefly saw a finger wag, and I thought, wow, is he going to his bullpen? And then I looked down, no one warming, so Brewer staying in there. Runners on first and second and just one out. Ryan Brewer entering this inning looked like he'd been cruising, but a couple of singles here. And Tampa now with 4 hits in the ball game. The designated hitter, Glancy, advancing to second on that ball through the left side of the infield. That was, as they call, a multiple hopper through that left side of the infield, but effective nonetheless. It got between Fontenot and Hancock. And now Tampa, a runner in scoring position. Glancy at second. He's scored 9 times this year. (3-0) West Florida, but Tampa threatening here in the 5th. Brewer will miss outside on that slider. The 9-hole hitter, Flint. Christian Flint, the shortstop today. He's moved around a lot. He's played at the University of Florida as well as South Carolina, a couple primetime baseball schools. I had heard earlier today that the University of Florida was losing in that SEC tournament. Pop-up down the right field line. O'Shea, he'll have room. He'll make the catch. A big play by the Argos first baseman, and those are not easy. Tapped up down the right field line. A pinch hitter now coming in for Cadenas. He brings in Sam Freitas right here. Does head coach Joe Urso as he starts to pull the strings early. Flint popping up foul to O'Shea, and that's a big out in this inning. Neither runner able to advance. First and second and 2 outs now for Sam Freitas. Freitas, the senior out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, appearing now in his 13th game. Just a 118 average on the season, though. He went to Mountain View High School and has had a strong career here at Tampa. He transferred from Florida Southwestern College prior to the 2019 season. Freitas watches that pitch on the inside corner, and that evens the count at 1. Brewer A .274 batting average with runners on base this season. A .305 average, though, with 2 outs. As from time to time, he has struggled to get out of innings. He's cruised early on in this game, but has run into some trouble here in the 5th. A ball and 2 strikes. Brewer 4 strikeouts in the outing so far. He'd love to get one here and escape the jam. Looks like we may see a new pitcher this next inning as Passarella looks like he's warm down there. A ball and 2 strikes. A long look back to second. Brewer comes to the plate and he'll miss off the corner. Tampa, they have used a lot of pitchers so far in this tournament, but it was a great outing yesterday by one of their starters this year. It was Eric Linder who would come in. He threw 7 innings in relief yesterday, 11 strikeouts for him, and that really helped save this Tampa bullpen. He allowed them to not have to use many pitchers in yesterday's game, which is huge in tournaments like this. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. The noise level increasing here at Jim Spooner Field as the Argo faithful trying to will Ryan Brewer to get out of this inning. Fouled off. A tough pitch there, but Freitas able to foul it off. Three balls, 2 strikes. We'll do it again. Brewer trying to escape a jam here in the 5th. That one lined back up the middle. It'll get through. Manhattan will field it in center field. The run will score. It's an RBI single by the pinch hitter Freitas. And this time Joe Urso pulls the right lever and Freitas comes through. On the 7th pitch of the at-bat, the pinch hitter Freitas back up the middle. Glancy coming in to score the first run of the ball game for Tampa. Josh Ruley goes to third on the play. And Tampa has finally scored off of the Argos right-hander. Now, Brewer, the thought is, how do you limit the damage here? He had cruised through the first 4 innings and picked up an early out after giving up a single, but then a second single with 1 out to give Tampa a pair on, and they are able to get a run. And now their best hitter at the plate, E.J. Cumbo. Cumbo played his high school ball at W.T. Clark High School in Westbury, New York. Grounder to first base, just foul. Good speed on the base paths. Ruley on third, Freitas at first after he pinch hit and picked up a big RBI single. One ball, 1 strike. And Cumbo able to lay off that pitch inside. Anxious moments for Brewer in this outing. Cumbo, the right fielder, hitting just under 400 this season. However, he's flied out and lined out to Manhattan in center field today. A big spot here. He has 18 RBIs on the season, and that one hammered to right. And it's going to clear the fence. A big 3-run home run for E.J. Cumbo as he goes big fly. And just like that, the University of Tampa, a 1-run lead, a 4-run 5th inning. And E.J. Cumbo, he leads this team in home runs, and that's his 6th on the season. And Tampa has made this a brand new ball game. You've been waiting all tournament for that power to show up, and it has now showed up in a big way. A 3-run home run by E.J. Cumbo. And West Florida, they've been leading throughout the entirety of this game, and now perhaps some of the mistakes on the base pass looming large. As big a hit as we have seen in this tournament, and now gets out of the inning. A strikeout for Brewer, but 4 runs in the inning, 4-3 the score as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
As we come back here at Jim Spooner Field, it's a brand new ball game. A 4-run inning for Tampa in the top of the 5th inning, and they now lead by 1. And with that, we have a couple of changes to give you. You saw Freitas pinch hit last inning. He stays in right field. Cumbo, who hit that big home run a moment ago, goes to center. Freitas, who pinch hits, moves to right, and a new pitcher into the ball game. Nick Constantakos out, and Alex Passarella into this game. Passarella making his 2nd appearance of these championships. The first one was a dandy. He pitched extremely well against Delta State. He came in a big spot after the starter was unable to get deep into that ball game. It was Michael Paul who had made the start, and then he was able to bridge the gap between Paul and ultimately get it to Jordan Leisure, and perhaps trying to do the exact same thing today. He went an inning and 2/3 against Delta State, 5 strikeouts in those inning and 2/3. And now Passarella, if he can pick up an out in this inning, he would be in line for the victory. The starter, Nick Constantakos, going 4 innings today. We'll close the book on him in a moment. But a whole new ball game here. And what else would you have expected between these two highly ranked teams? We mentioned a little bit easier to get through the bracket if you win this game. So both teams really fighting hard. West Florida was leading 3-0, and now they'll have a hit as Fontenot leads off the inning with a single. A tough outcome there for Brewer. He had been pitching oh so well and ran into some trouble in that last inning. He throws 24 pitches in the last one of the last ones. Went a long way. believe I said as we went off the air that Brewer had struck out Earhart. It was actually a foul out to the catcher for the final out of last inning. It came right after Cumbo had unloaded on that ball to left field. And now Passarella trying to shepherd a lead. You know the formula if you're a Tampa fan here. Get the ball to Jordan Leisure, one of the best relief pitchers in the entire country. And he's already starting to stretch a little bit down there. He can give you 3 innings. We saw him do that the other day against Delta State in that victory. So perhaps the formula for Joe Urso is get Passarella here through the 5th. You let him go back out there in the 6th. And then when he gets into some trouble, you turn to Leisure. Although you'd certainly love to see him pick up these 2 middle innings. 4-3 the score. Although the Argos quickly back into this game as they line a single to lead off the inning. 4 runs last inning, all of them earned. 4 hits in the inning. And with the home run, nobody left on base. Hancock shows Bunton. It's a beauty. Can they get him at first? Just in time. Nice play there by Earhart. He had to make a heck of a play, and he did. Hard to get Hancock on those beautiful bunts, but Nick Earhart did it right there. One out in the inning, but instead of a bunt for a base hit, it goes as a sacrifice. Fontenot gets himself into scoring position now on the sac bunt. Here goes with a runner on second and just 1 out, and that brings up Cullen O'Shea. O'Shea in this game 0 for 2, a couple of groundouts, one to the pitcher, at the time Constant Tacos, and the second one to the second baseman, J.D. Urso. Passarella, as we mentioned, that inning in 2/3 against Delta State, just his second appearance of the season. He's a transfer from NYIT prior to that 2019 season. Last year, he appeared in 6 games, throwing in 8 1/3 innings pitched. Gets the strike call right there, and now ahead on O'Shea, 0-2. We saw the other day a good breaking ball by Passarella, and we've seen O'Shea struggle a bit in this tournament with the breaking ball. And perhaps a chance here to throw one and maybe get a strikeout if you're Alex Passarella on the mound. An 0-2 pitch. O'Shea, a .364 hitter on the season with runners in scoring position. He'll ground out to second. Fontenot to third on the play. O'Shea moves the runner over to third with 2 outs, and that passes the baton to Dylan Menhennet. 2 outs in the inning, and now the Argos RBI leader coming to the plate. And Mike Jeffcoat wants to talk with his center fielder. Menhennet, one of the best in the business this year, driving in runners from third. A .393 hitter. He has 44 RBIs on the year. He leads this team in RBIs. A big spot here and perhaps a huge confidence booster for the Argos if they could get that runner in from third. They had led 3-0, and Brewer was cruising until he walked into a swing by E.J. Cumbo. That ball went a long way, and Tampa quickly out to a 4-3 lead. Can UWF answer? Menhennet 0 for 2 today. He's flown out and struck out. Passarella has cleanly picked up the first 2 outs in the inning, but has a runner on third base. Menhennet fouls that one off. Now down in the count, 0-2. As we've mentioned with several of these Argos hitters, they're tough to strike out. Menhennet, he's only struck out 21 times this year across 177 at-bats. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss as Passarella gets Menhennet swinging. The Argos strand a runner on third, and Tampa will take a 4-3 lead into the sixth. What a ball game so far. Perhaps the biggest difference last inning for Ryan Brewer, he fell behind multiple hitters. He had fallen behind Cumbo, too, when he would homer off of him on that 2-1 pitch. It made this game 4-3, and the Argos would threaten in the bottom of the fifth inning, but Alex Passarella, the reliever for Tampa, able to escape the jam with Fontenot standing just 90 feet away from tying the game. Fouled off now to the right side. Jamarcus Lyons at the plate. Lyons in the game so far. He singled back in the first inning with 2 outs and then struck out swinging in the fourth. That strikeout came on a beautiful pitch by Brewer that was right on that inside corner, and Lyons was unable to get the bat head to it when he swung. A ball and a strike. Lyons again fouls it off to the right side. Brewer bounces a breaking ball outside, trying to get Lyons to swing over the top of it. Could be a setup pitch here, maybe come right back to that fastball in the inside corner that you've had success with. And they do. This time Lyons, hard hit to third, sparkling backhand by Fontenot, though. Fontenot, one of the best in the business at fielding his position at third base. He makes a slick play over there to get Lyons. Again, that fastball on the inside corner to retire Lyons. This Argos defense has been the best that they have ever been in school history. Their fielding percentage, the highest it's ever been. And it's plays like that by Fontenot are a big reason why. Fontenot growing up and in high school, primarily a middle infielder. He played a lot of second base. His shortstop was a good shortstop, and so he played a lot of second base. He played some second base here early in the year, but much like we saw last year, towards the end of the year, he shifted back over to third, and that has been a huge decision. Him and Hancock really solidifying that left side of the infield for West Florida. The first baseman, Sullivan, batting. Last time we saw him, he lined into an inning-ending double play in the fourth inning. At the time, Earhart was on first base after singling to lead off the inning or walking to lead off the inning. And Sullivan lining hard to Imwali. And Earhart, there was nothing he could do at that point. He was about 15 feet off the bag, and Imwali able to throw it to first. 3 balls and a strike. That one It'll miss low, and Tampa will have a base runner here in the 6th on the walk issued by Ryan Brewer, the second walk he's issued today. That one hammered into right. Glancy into the corner. The runner will be at third. Second and third now with one out. A big hit there, and this Tampa offense that had been held quiet early on today has woken up in a big way in the 5th and the 6th. And as Mike Jeffcoat comes out, it looks like it'll be the end of the line for Ryan Brewer in this outing. A reliever coming into this game, it looks like it's Sean Means. It is Brewer exiting after pitching 5 1/3 innings pitched. He'll exit with runners on second and third. The Argos trailing by 1, and Mike Jeffcoat goes to his bullpen. We'll step away for just a moment. We'll be back to introduce the new pitcher when we come back. And as we welcome you back out of the pitching change, Mike Jeffcoat going to his pen for the first time here today in a big spot. It's Sean Means into the ball game, the right-hander. A 3.52 ERA on the season, 36 strikeouts across 30 2/3 innings, but he has not pitched since the 9th of this month. Nearly a 3-week layoff for the redshirt freshman out of Naples, Florida. With one out and runners on second and third, a big spot in this ball game. Urso, massive swing right there. That double into the right field corner by Glancy necessitating the move. Ryan Brewer's day done after 5 1/3 innings. Means trying to get out of a jam. Looks like Alex Knight warming for West Florida as well. This Argos bullpen very well rested, especially after the lengthy outing that Tyler Dowdy gave them last evening. Four runs allowed by Brewer in the outing, but responsible for both runners on base right now. 89 pitches for him. He threw 55 of them for strikes. And really the big blemish was that home run. Urso into right field. Is it deep enough to get a run in? It will be 5-3 now. Tampa, both runners move up. Good base running by Joe Urso's team, and what else would you expect? His team plays the game the right way. A sac fly by Urso. The second out of the inning as Glancy moves to third, and Sullivan scores the 5th run of the game for Tampa. And that'll bring up Josh Ruley. I beg your pardon, I believe I've been calling him Ruley. It's Ruley. And he'll line one through the left side. 6-3 now Tampa as both runs score, and that completes the line on Ryan Brewer. 5 1/3, 7 hits, 6 runs allowed, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Means came in and unable to get the out yet. He picked up an out, but both of those runners coming in to score back-to-back RBI at bats for Tampa. And the inning not over yet. A runner on first base. The catcher, not much of a threat to run over there. The momentum feels like it is completely shifted into the corner of the Spartans. They've been here in this position before, and right now perhaps leaning on some of that experience. The shortstop Flint up now. Flint 0 for 2 today, a ground out to first and a pop foul. A swing and a miss, and that one gets away. Ruley into second base now. The shortstop Flint, just 1 RBI on the campaign, but a big spot here. If you're Tampa, you know that this West Florida offense is good, so your goal is to continue to tack on. Both coaches talk so much about the game of baseball and the different parts of the game, and really they look at these games as 3-inning segments. And if you're Tampa, you've now won that middle 3-inning section so far. I've heard around the game that from time to time you're given about 3 opportunities in a game, 3 innings to score. And Tampa has scored in the last 2 innings. That one just missed inside. Six to 3 the score. This would be big for Means to get out of the inning without any further damage. A hit, though, would perhaps score Ruley from second. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Bouncer in the dirt. West Florida, they've given up 4 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th. And now a walk issued here. And runners on first and second. It's a fine line to walk if you're the head coach in the Argos dugout at this point. And he's going to his bullpen here yet again. We see the signal as Means will exit this game. 6-3 the score. We're going to step away from Jim Spooner Field yet again. As head coach Mike Jeffcoat goes to his bullpen, Means only able to pick up 1 out. And the Argos going to Alex Knight out of the pen. 6-3 the score. We'll be back in a moment.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
The third pitcher of the day for West Florida, this time Alex Knight coming in with 2 outs in the inning. Sean Means only going a third of an inning. He allowed a couple of inherited runners to score in the frame. Tampa currently leading this one by 3, and Sam Freitas, who pinched hit and then stayed in the game in right field batting. Freitas singling and driving in a run in his last plate appearance, and then he would score on that lengthy bomb by Cumbo, who stands on deck. Alex Knight, the third pitcher, as we mentioned, he has been a late season major addition to this Argos bullpen. He's been in the bullpen all year long, but has been particularly hot late in the season. He had thrown 11 innings scoreless prior to a lengthy home run in Game 1 of the Gulf South Conference Championships last Tuesday, making just his first appearance since that appearance. That one lined up the middle. It'll get through. A run will score. And Tampa playing well. Close play at third. But the runner will get in safely. Rulai coming in to score the 7th run of the ball game. And Tampa appears to have broken this one open. Flint going first to third. And Freitas, his second consecutive hit. He drives in a run yet again. 2 at-bats, 2 RBI singles for the right fielder. And that brings up E.J. Cumbo, has 1 3-run home run already in this game, and multiple runners on for him yet again. So far, this Argos bullpen that they have not had to use much at the end of the season due to the success of the starting pitching has faltered a bit here today. Knight making his 12th appearance of the season, a 3.31 ERA across 16 innings of work. He has Cumbo down 0-2, 16 strikeouts across those 16 innings of work for Knight on the season, and he could really use one right here. That one hammered into right, Estrada over, and it's going to go off the base of the wall. 1 run will score. They're going to hold Freitas up at second, and the hit parade continues. The 10th hit of the ball game for Tampa, and now an 8-3 lead. 8 runs here across the last 2 innings. Cumbo, another big hit, this time a double. Back-to-back extra base hits for him. He's now driven in 4 RBIs in this game. And that brings up the third baseman in today's game for Tampa, Drew Earhart. Earhart has singled, walked, and popped up foul to end that 5th inning. He popped out foul right on the first pitch after that home run by Cumbo. This game, however, far from over, as both of these offenses very talented. But West Florida, they want to get out of the inning, and they will not. That'll be a single, and it'll drive in a pair, 10-3 Tampa. And this game has been broken wide open. Timely hitting for Tampa in this game so far. And the Argos bullpen that has been so strong all season long has let them down today. Tampa has now batted around here in the 6th inning. They've sent 16 batters to the plate in the last 2 innings. And in the 4th, it was a 3-0 Argos lead. Now a 10-3 lead for Tampa. And perhaps this Tampa team, there was definitely some doubters this year after only playing 20 regular season games. There were some questions about the resume. And so far, those questions have been answered here in the regional. And perhaps the team that has done it more than anyone else. They've appeared in 35 regionals in their storied history. And that experience in this lineup and at the top in head coach Joe Urso clearly showing through here today. For head coach Mike Jeffcoat now, questions have to start popping up in your head. You have to start thinking strategy at this point. We mentioned the road gets increasingly difficult if you lose this game. You've thrown now 2 high leverage relievers in this one. You have to still hope that you're in this game. But what you start to think about is if you lose this one, a date with Lee University looming just an hour after the conclusion of this game. And then you would have to beat this Tampa team 2 times tomorrow. That one hammered into center field. Back to the warning track. Manhennett will make the play for the final out of the inning. But Tampa, they've broken the game open here in the 6th inning. They lead 10-3 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning here in Pensacola.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Alex Passarella, when he entered this game, he was already in line for the victory. If he could just pick out an out, he would work a clean inning. The Argos threatened in the inning but unable to score, and then his team would put a 6th spot on the board in the 6th inning. Currently leading this game 10-3 as Adam Mwali comes back to bat. Mwali a double in that 4th inning, but then picked off at second, and perhaps that was the moment when the momentum started to shift. The Argos looked in business in that inning. They would score a run in that inning, but it could have been more. And now a lot of questions to be answered, but this Argos lineup still extremely talented. And as a member of the Tampa staff said up here in the press box, they said this Argos team could do the same thing that Tampa just did and score 10 runs in a couple of innings. But it has gotten increasingly difficult here today for West Florida. Can they bounce back? Much like a prize fighter who gets through the first round unscathed, that was the Argos through 4 innings. And then Tampa landing a couple of big punches. And we will have to see if one of those has proved to be the knockout blow. And Wally, that one sent back to the wall. With room in right field is Freitas. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Never count out a team as highly ranked as West Florida, though, in a game. Their offense averages close to 8 runs a game. They'd need a bit more here today. But for West Florida, they need their pitching to step up at this point. They need their pitching to do something like maybe what Jackson Rutledge did yesterday for Delta State, come in and eat innings and put zeros up. That one shot to left. Lyons going to have room. He'll make the play for the second out of the inning. Back-to-back flyouts. And that'll bring up Matthew Estrada, 2 for 2 today, a couple of singles. Estrada ahead in the count now. A ball and no strikes. Passarella was called upon to eat up the middle innings of this game, and so far he's done just that through an inning and 2/3 of work. Tampa 10 runs between the 5th and the 6th inning here today. 9 hits for them. They now have 11 hits in the ball game. West Florida with 8 hits so far today, but just 3 runs to show for it. Estrada, that one high into center field. Cumbo underneath. It'll make the catch for the final out of the inning. 3 flyouts in the inning. Passarella goes 1, 2, 3. And that'll get Tampa back to bat as we head to the 7th here in Pensacola. The 6th-seeded A 1-2-3 inning for Alex Passarella in the last inning for Tampa. He's now thrown 2 innings in this game. He's given up a hit and a strikeout. Just 19 pitches. So a lot of perhaps pitches, bullets left in that arm for Passarella. We'll see if he comes back out there. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Sullivan, in this game. He's grounded off of the pitcher on a nice play made by Hancock. Lined into a double play, would walk, and then come around to score last inning. The Argos throwing 33 pitches in that last inning, and Tampa scoring 6 runs. Fontenot near the fence, leans in, but that one back into the bleachers. Unable to make the catch. Knight came on for Sean Means and allowed a couple of runs to score. Knight charged with 2 runs in that inning, as was Means. Ryan Brewer, 6 earned runs in the outing. Six runs on 5 hits and 1 man left on base last inning for Tampa. A ball and 2 strikes here. Knight looking for the strikeout. Knight would come on to face the leadoff hitter, Freitas. He gave up a single and that drove in a run, and then Cumbo would double off of him, driving in another run, followed by another single by Earhart, driving in a run. 3 consecutive hits off of Knight before getting Lyons to fly out to center field to end the inning. And Knight has missed wildly with the last couple of pitches. That one to the backstop. Another bouncer and now a 3-2 pitch upcoming. West Florida, they were playing very well early on in this game. They led 3-0 at one point. But then Tampa finding a spark in the middle innings. A big 3-run home run by E.J. Cumbo. And then a 6 spot in the 6th inning. And now a walk issued by Knight as he hangs his head. And that brings up the designated hitter in today's game, Luke Glancy. Glancy so far in this game, a pair of hits, a single and a double in the 5th and the 6th inning. He would also score in both of those innings. Knight's pitch will miss off the corner. On the 1-0 pitch, Knight misses again, 2-0 the count. Tampa, they'd been held scoreless through the first 4 innings of this game, but 10 runs across the last 2 frames. And they currently lead by 7. This Tampa lineup, much like we've seen West Florida's lineup be all year, relentless. Able to string hits together, and we've seen them do that the last couple of innings, something that West Florida has done to many opponents this year. When the snowball starts rolling downhill, it gets bigger and bigger until there's a lot of runs on the board. And for West Florida, can they regain their mojo today? They played extremely well early on in these regionals behind some very solid pitching last night. Tyler Dowdy, who picked up the complete game. And in the first game, Evan Floyd, who pitched well. But Ryan Brewer faltering today. Swing and a miss there by Knight as he bounces back. Knight will pick up his first strikeout since entering this game. That'll bring up J.D. Urso. He had a sac fly. Back in the 6th inning to drive in a run. He bats for the 3rd time. 3 flyouts for him. That sacrifice fly, not an official at bat, so 0 for 2 today is Urso. Driving in a run. He bats with 1 out and a runner on first base. It's the first baseman, Sullivan. And Knight, a strike call right there. This West Florida team, there hasn't been a lot of adversity in what has been an incredible year for this program. Perhaps the biggest set of adversity that they faced was losing that first game of the Gulf South Conference Championship to Delta State. But they were able to bounce back in a big way, winning the last 2 games to win a Gulf South Conference Championship. And now they need to bounce back again here today. Hunter Lucas warming in the pen for West Florida. Knight's pitch inside, sent into center field off the bat of Urso. Menhennet underneath it for the second out of the inning. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Josh Rulai. He's picked up a couple singles in the 5th, in the 6th inning, drove in a run in the 6th. He scored in both innings. It's exactly what you want to see out of the bottom of your lineup. Can Knight put the first 0 up on the scoreboard since the 3rd, make it 4th inning? He's ahead in the count, 0-1 now. 2 outs, a runner on first. Now 0-2. That one into right field, getting down in front of Estrada. Sullivan into second, and it's the 3rd hit of the ball game by the 8-hole hitter Josh Rulai. 3 singles. This one extends the inning here in the 7th. And Hunter Lucas, who had been warming, briefly stopped there with 2 outs, has now started to warm again. Perhaps if another runner reaches, you would see Hunter Lucas, the left-hander, the lone left-hander, out of the Argos bullpen, enter this game. Christian Flint getting his 4th plate appearance today. He walked in his last plate appearance. It would come around to score in that 6th inning. An inning that saw the Argos pitchers throw 33 pitches and give up 6 runs. That one hammered into center field. Menhennet up with it. He's coming home. The throw will not be in time. And Tampa tacks on another run with 2 outs. Tampa now 10 for 15 today with 2 outs. A relentless lineup today, and that forces Mike Jeffcoat to go to the bullpen. And with that change, we will step away for a moment. We'll be back to introduce the new pitcher. It looks like it's Hunter Lucas coming in from the pen.
Hi, I'm Mark Emmert, president of the NCAA. At the NCAA, we know that readers become leaders. While the young men and women who play college sports may be tremendous athletes, each and every one of them is also a student pursuing a college degree. As a parent, you're your child's first and most important teacher. Encourage your kids to read daily. Start the habit early by reading with them when they're young. Then have them read to you for about 30 minutes a day when they get a little bit older. Reading prepares children for lifelong opportunity and allows them to create great mysteries and stories and explore the world through their own mind. Very few student athletes will go on to play sports professionally, which is why their education is so important. What they learn through reading and through the classroom prepares them for life after sports. So pick up a book and help set your kids on the path to opportunity.
As we welcome you back to Pensacola, the lead now 8 for the University of Tampa. A new pitcher into the ballgame for West Florida. It's Hunter Lucas making his 11th appearance on the season. 16 innings pitched for the redshirt junior out of Lakeland, Florida, making his first appearance in well over a month. The last time he appeared back on the 25th of April. A first pitch strike out of the hand of Lucas. Lucas did not pitch in that Gulf South Conference championship for West Florida. He's allowed an earned run in 3 of his last 4 outings. All day long, this Tampa lineup has been absolutely relentless. 10 for 15, a .667 batting average with 2 outs today. Tampa 10 2-out RBIs. A majority of the runs have come with 2 outs. And so far, the Argos pitchers have just been able to get out of innings. And this time, Lucas comes on. He picks up the strikeout of Freitas to end the inning. But another run comes across for Tampa. They'll carry an 11-3 lead into the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch here in Pensacola. West Florida coming back to bat. It'll be the bottom 3rd, and Clement, Dowdy, and Fontenot due up when we come back.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
And as we come back in the bottom of the 7th inning, a pinch hitter for West Florida as Jack Shad pinch hits for Sam Clement. Perhaps Mike Jeffcoat sensing that there could be another game here today for the Argos, and perhaps giving Clement a couple of innings off of his legs. Jack Shad entering for Clement. For Shad, the last time he appeared in a game over a month ago as well, coming on the 25th of April against West Georgia. Shad, a .250 hitter on the season. He was the primary catcher early on in the campaign, but Sam Clement wrestling the job away and going on to have a All-American season this year for the Argos. Shad swings and misses right there. A ball and 2 strikes now. Alex Passarella, he was called on to come in and eat innings in this game, and so far he has done just that. 2 innings pitched for him, just 19 pitches across those first 2 innings. He's allowed just 1 base runner. That was Fontenot's single. Jack Shad popped to left field. Oncoming is Lyons. He'll make the play just shy of the foul line for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Tyler Dowdy. Dowdy has grounded into a double play and struck out swinging today. (11-3) the score here in the bottom of the seventh inning. West Florida looked to be in the driver's seat early on today, but it was those middle innings that Tampa has broken this game wide open. And now the Argos of West Florida staring at a date with Lee University about an hour after the end of this game. Dowdy able to stay alive on that foul tip. Drew Fontenot on deck. He's 1 for 2 today. He reached third base in the fifth inning, but Menhennet would strike out swinging to end that inning with a runner on third base. That one, the old 55-footer. That breaking ball bouncing well in front of the plate. Joe Urso, for sure, was prepared to use Jordan Leisure in a game today, but with his team leading by as many as they are, now trying to see if Passarella can get them deeper into the ballgame. Perhaps saving Leisure for what looks like a potential chance at a regional championship tomorrow morning. Who knows, though? I'm sure Joe Urso has a lot of respect for this Argos lineup, knowing that they can put runs on the board in a hurry. He talked so much in that conversation that I had with him prior to this tournament about the importance of his team when they had opportunities putting up big innings so that they could stay away from Jordan Leisure. And today they have done just that. Swing and a miss there as Passarella gets Dowdy swinging. His second strikeout of the outing. And that brings up Fontenot. 1 for 2 today, a single that came in the fifth inning. Argos looking for a spark here late in the game. That'll miss upstairs. Now 2-0 to Drew Fontenot. Three and 0 now out of the hand of Passarella. Passarella 30 pitches in this game entering this at bat. Now up to 33. And that pitch will catch the inside corner. A reliever running down to the Tampa bullpen to start warming. It's Michael Dumo. He's made 7 appearances this year, perhaps getting him warm in case Passarella isn't able to get out of this inning. Three balls and 2 strikes. Fontenot was ahead in the count 3-0. Passarella battling back. And Fontenot taps to third, fielded cleanly by Earhart, His strong throw across the diamond in time to retire the side. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Alex Passarella. That'll take us to the 8th inning here at Jim Spooner Field. 11-3 the score in favor of the University of Tampa.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us
and for college sports.
Eleven to 3 the score. And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter in this inning, E.J. Cumbo. It's been a huge day for him. A 3-run home run in the 5th inning that gave Tampa a 4-3 lead at the time. And then he would pick up an RBI double in the 6th inning. 2 for 4 today. Each of his RBI hits coming with 2 outs. He's driven in 4 runs with 2 outs. Hunter Lucas back out there. He would come on to pick up the final out in the 7th inning. It was a looking strikeout by the leadoff hitter today, Sam Freitas. Freitas coming in for Jose Cadenas early on in this outing. After Cadenas had gone 0 for 2, not sure if there was an injury there or simply just going with a different look in the offense. Lucas on the 0-2 pitch will miss up and away. That one hammered to right, and it's not coming back. E.J. Cumbo has a 2-home-run day. He goes big fly. Goodbye, baseball. And Tampa continues to tack on. The 7th home run of the season for Cumbo. It's now a 5 RBI day for him. The most RBIs he has had in a game all season. A big day for Cumbo, and he has put his team on the precipice of playing for yet another regional final. Wow, a big update from out west. West Texas A&M scoring late in that game and walking off the number 1 team in the country to eliminate Colorado Mesa. Colorado Mesa, as we mentioned, ranked number 1 in one of the polls, West Florida in another. That's a big shocker out west. West Texas A&M scoring 3 in the 9th inning to win that game. And Colorado Mesa, I believe that would mean they are eliminated from the tournament, meaning that their season has come to an end. A ball and 2 strikes quickly to Earhart. He's batted 4 times today, a couple of singles. He's been on base 3 times, would walk in the 4th inning. He's driven in a run. Tampa now has 12 RBIs in this game. 11 of them have come with 2 outs. Just a relentless day from a Spartans team that has been here and done this so many times. And now Earhart into center field, his 3rd hit of the ball game. Tampa having themselves a good offensive day here at Jim Spooner Field. This team has had to battle all tournament. They trailed Delta State at times. They trailed Lee University 6-0 yesterday. They trailed 3-0 here today. And the team with a narrow resume, having played just 20 games entering this tournament, but a lengthy history, has shown up in a big way here in the tournament. And perhaps making a statement to all of the doubters. An 0-1 pitch upcoming from Hunter Lucas to Lyons. Lyons singled way back in the first inning, but has gone 0 for 3 in his last 3 plate appearances. A strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out. Lucas's breaking ball nowhere near the plate. And now Lyons will stare at a 2-1 pitch. (12-3) the score here this afternoon. West Florida looks like they will end up losing this game. You never say never, but certainly trailing by 9 here late in the ball game, it becomes difficult. And if they do end up losing, it would be a date with Lee University, a team that they have played 4 times this year. They have yet to lose to Lee this year, but you never know with a top 10 team. And Lucas walks Lyons here. The first 3 runners he has faced in the 8th inning have reached. But with the score the way it is, I would think he's staying in this game. Jeffcoat now, Mike Jeffcoat, the head coach for West Florida, out to make a mound visit. He checked with the home plate umpire, I believe, to see how many mound visits he had made. He goes out to talk to Hunter Lucas. West Florida, they could really use Lucas to get through the rest of this game. As we mentioned, the road, it becomes increasingly difficult if you lose this game. You'd have to win 3 games over the next 24 hours in order to advance. West Florida, they've already used Evan Floyd. Tyler Dowdy through 9 innings. Ryan Brewer going 5 1/3 today. They had to use Knight and Means in this game. They should have, though, a rested Josh Pilad. Joey Wozniak down in the bullpen as well, as is Brendan Case. The question for West Florida becomes who starts the next game if necessary. We've seen Robert Sherlock start games this year. We've seen Jason Roberts start games this year for West Florida. Having to figure out how to piece it together if you fall in this game. (12-3) the score. It's the first baseman Sullivan up. He's gotten on his last 2 times by way of the walk and scored both times. The first 3 batters in this inning have reached. Cumbo homering. And then a single and a walk by Earhart and Lyons. 12-3 currently the score. And Tampa again threatening with nobody out and a couple of runners on. Fouled off to the left side. And that'll send some kids chasing after the foul ball. 0-2 pitch for Lucas. He has one strikeout in the outing so far. It came to the first batter he faced in Freitas. A strikeout looking to end the 7th inning. This time he'll miss upstairs. A ball and 2 strikes as Lucas comes set. The left-hander will pick up his second strikeout as he throws a fastball up in the zone, and Sullivan swings over the top of it. The second strikeout of the outing for the Argos left-hander, the lone lefty out of the bullpen. An out in the inning, and that brings up Luke Glancy, 2 for 4 today. A single and a double in the 5th and the 6th. He scored a pair. Struck out swinging, though, in his last plate appearance. That was against Alex Knight, the lone strikeout he would pick up in his outing. Despite the first 3 runners reaching Lucas, he's thrown first pitch strikes to all the batters he's faced in the frame. A lot of movement on that breaking ball, and it caught the inside corner. Nice job there by Jack Shad to frame it. Been a tough season for Jack Shad. He saw his starting role and playing time diminish as the year went on, and Sam Clement continued to step up, but getting an opportunity here late in the game. He transferred from Tennessee Tech prior to this season. He made 13 starts, most of those early on. But as we mentioned, when he entered, he hadn't played since the end of April. But being called upon here late and perhaps trying to save some innings on the legs of Sam Clement, knowing that there's a good possibility of playing a game a little bit later on. That one will hit Glancy on the arm. It glances him, and he'll head down to first base. And now the bases will be loaded here in the 8th inning. It's Earhart at third, Lyons at second, and Glancy at first after the hit by pitch. And that brings up J.D. Urso, 0 for 3 today. He sent balls into the outfield on all 4 plate appearances. One of them a sacrifice fly back in the 6th that would drive in a run. This one hammered, though, down the left field line, but rolling foul. Oh, 0-1 pitch now, 1 out, bases loaded for Tampa. It's been a clean day defensively for both teams, but it's been the Tampa offense that's pounded out 15 hits and scored 12 runs. It has so far proved to be the difference. A combination of good hitting and not so great pitching by the West Florida staff in this one, but a lot of credit goes to Tampa. As we mentioned a few moments ago, 11 of their 12 RBIs have come with 2 outs. In this game, they've hit .625, 10 for 16 with 2 outs. West Florida just unable to escape innings. West Florida on the year. As of a couple of games ago, they had allowed runners to reach at a .262 batting average with 2 outs. West Tampa, though, has done it a bit better today. 400 points above the season average for West Florida. Give Tampa a ton of credit. Relentless, I think, is the word that comes to mind today. Urso, that one will get through the left side, and it'll be a couple of more runs. 1 run scores. They actually hold Lions up at third as Dunham got to it quickly. An RBI single for J.D. Urso. And with the 10-run lead, the bases still loaded. No run rule in the NCAA tournament. The 16th hit of the ball game for Tampa. And another RBI. Cumbo leads Tampa with 5 today. 3 other hitters, Urso, Earhart, and Freitas, each have 2 RBIs. The shortstop, Flint, has 1 as well. So far today, the 4, 5, and 6-hole hitters for Tampa, none of them have RBIs. The damage today has been done at the top of the lineup and at the bottom of the lineup. Swing and a miss right there by Rulai. He's had 3 hits today. An RBI single back in the 6th inning. He struck out swinging in his first plate appearance today, but has since picked up 3 consecutive singles. He's scored in 2 of the 3 times he's been on base. Two balls and 2 strikes. An out in the inning, but the bases loaded for Tampa. This one fouled off down the right-hand side. Two balls, 2 strikes. Lucas comes set. He'll miss outstairs. And now 3-2 with the bases loaded. The runners stay put, and that'll miss upstairs, and it will force in a run. As Rulai works a walk the 4th time in a row he's been on base. And that'll force in a run as Earhart, who scored earlier, scores, and now Lions from third base scores the 3rd run of the inning, and it's now 14-3 in favor of Tampa here today in Pensacola. Bases still loaded for Christian Flint. Flint, an RBI single in his last plate appearance. Rulai now joining that trio of teammates with 2 RBIs. Now 4 players with 2 RBIs and Cumbo with 5. Flint with a hit here could also join that 2 RBI team. Lucas's pitch will miss up and away, now 3-0, in danger of walking in another run. Lucas on the 3-0 pitch. He'll get a strike call. For West Florida, the question now becomes, how do you bounce back this evening? Been a challenging day at the ballpark for them. And looking down in the left field party deck, Lee University is here watching the conclusion of this one. That one will find the grass in right field. 2 runs will come into score. A 2 RBI single by Christian Flint, and now 5 batters in this lineup with 2 RBIs. 2 or more RBIs. 6 now with 2 or more RBIs. 3 RBIs for the 9-hole hitter Flint today as he picks up his second consecutive RBI base knock. And that appears to be the end of the line for Hunter Lucas. He allows 2 hits to the final 3 batters he faces, including a walk, and that'll be the end of the line. We'll take a break here in Pensacola, 16-3 in favor of the Tampa Spartans.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us
and for college sports.
And as we come back, it'll be a new pitcher for West Florida into the ball game. Robert Sherlock entering this one. He's the 5th pitcher out of the pen for Mike Jeffcoat. The last time he appeared in a game over 2 months ago, back on April 3rd against Union University, threw an inning in that, but hasn't pitched since, making just his 6th appearance out of the pen this year for West Florida. Lucas goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up 4 hits, and responsible for the runners on base. That one grounded up the middle, and it'll be a 17th run for Tampa as Freitas picks up an RBI. His 3rd RBI single of the ball game, and the inning continues. And that brings up Cumbo, who homered to lead off this 8th inning. Has 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in this game. Lined right at Imwali. They'll double him off to end the inning. But it's another 6-run inning, and the score 17-3. Sherlock comes in and gets a couple of outs. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th inning, 17-3 in favor of Tampa.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
As we come back, bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be a pinch hitter for West Florida as Kyle Demore enters this ballgame for Hancock. He pinch hits here as we begin the bottom of the 8th inning. And we have a new pitcher into the ballgame for Tampa. It's Dalton Ross who enters this game. He's made 1 appearance in these championships, throwing 2/3 of an inning yesterday. A couple of walks issued by him, making his 7th appearance of the season. Demore will pick up a single as we begin the 8th inning. That represents just the first base runner that West Florida has had since the first batter in the 5th inning. A good at bat there by Kyle Demore off of Ross. Strike called right there to O'Shea. West Florida trailing in this game 17-3. Not how they thought this game was going to go. They were in the lead very early on. But then Tampa has been relentless all day long, pounding out 18 hits. The 17 runs allowed today, the most runs allowed in a game for West Florida since the 2017 season. It was a 20-15 victory for West Florida at Rawlins in that game. A tough day at the ballpark, and the reward for that tough day will be to play again in about an hour after the conclusion of this game. West Florida, as we mentioned, there hasn't been a ton of adversity this year. A little bit in that Gulf South Conference Championship, but they were able to bounce back. They'll have to bounce back later on this evening, and then they would have to play Tampa a couple times tomorrow. O'Shea will work a walk, and a couple runners on here as we begin the 8th inning. DeMore to second. That'll bring up Dylan Menhennet. The 17 runs allowed are the most runs that West Florida has allowed in a game since all the way back in the 2010 season. In that year, they would allow 18 runs versus North Georgia. That was an 18-0 loss here at home. And that just goes to show you the run of dominance that this West Florida team has had. They've been very good over the years, but today, a very tough day at the ballpark. Menhennet, that one will get through the left side, and the bases will be loaded here in the 8th inning. Bases loaded as the Argos get the first 3 runners on, and that'll bring up another pinch hitter as Sam Harris comes in. Harris pinch hitting for Adam Imwali. Imwali's day done. He had a double in today's game. Sam Harris making his 22nd appearance on the season. He last played on the 9th of May, where he entered the game defensively versus Lee University. He's hit safely in 7 games this season, the redshirt junior from Pensacola, Florida, transferring from Coastal Alabama South Community College. Bases loaded, though, for West Florida here in the 8th inning. Justin Dunham on deck. Harris swings and misses for the first out of the inning as Ross picks up his first strikeout. And that'll bring in Justin Dunham. 2 hits for him today. He scored 2 of the 3 Argos runs. His run that he scored in the 4th inning at the time would give West Florida a 3-0 lead. But since then, 17 unanswered runs for Tampa. Now Dunham, that one hammered. That's going to get down and drive in some runs off the wall. 1 run will score. Menhennet caught up between third. He'll get there safely, though. He briefly stopped. It'll be a 2 RBI double for Dunham. His 3rd hit of the ball game. And West Florida, they have life here in the 8th inning. DeMore coming around to score, as does O'Shea. Menhennet to third. The Argos scoring their first run since the 4th inning. Big hit there for Dunham, who has a 3-hit day. And the score now 17-5 with Matthew Estrada up. 2 for 3 today. It's the Argos right fielder. flew out, though, to center field in his last at-bat, part of a 1-2-3-6 inning for Alex Passarella. A ball and a strike here to the Argos' 6-hole hitter, Estrada. With the couple hits today, Estrada's average now up to 280. As we mentioned, he's never had a season in his career under 300. It's a 3-hit day for Matthew Estrada. And a pair are going to come in to score. West Florida a 4 spot as of right now here in the 8th inning. And give this Argos team some credit. They could have very easily rolled over here at the end of the game, trailing by 14 coming into the inning, but still battling here late, and now playing for pride at this point, as well as looking for some momentum that you can carry into the evening game. 17-7, now a 10-run game. You never say never, but it would be an otherworldly comeback if they were able to get back into this one. Back-to-back 2 RBI hits for West Florida. Four runs have come in to score in the inning. The one thing you can say about this game, it's been a very clean game defensively. Every run, I believe, in this ball game has been an earned run. 17 earned runs charged to West Florida and 7 to Tampa. There's been a lot of good hitting in this ball game. West Florida hitting 400 with runners in scoring position, but Tampa hitting 667. Both teams have done a good job at advancing base runners today. Both teams over 600. Their batting average in those categories. So definitely some bright spots if you're West Florida in what has, as we mentioned, been a historic run output for Tampa. The 17 runs today, I believe, a season high for Tampa. (17 to 7). We've seen 30 hits in this ball game. There's been a lot of base runners today. And Jack Shadd will head down to first base. 7 walks issued in this game. Jack Shadd hit by the pitch. He'll be at first base now, and Estrada goes to second, and the inning continues. Still just 1 out. And that'll bring Joe Urso out of his dugout, out to the mound, and that should signal a pitching change, and it does indeed. Urso going to his bullpen here. A 4 spot for West Florida, trying to make things interesting here late.
Hi, I'm Mark Emmert, president of the NCAA. At the NCAA, we know that readers become leaders. While the young men and women who play college sports may be tremendous athletes, each and every one of them is also a student pursuing a college degree. As a parent, you're your child's first and most important teacher. Encourage your kids to read daily. Start the habit early by reading with them when they're young. Then have them read to you for about 30 minutes a day when they get a little bit older. Reading prepares children for lifelong opportunity and allows them to create great mysteries and stories and explore the world through their own mind. Very few student athletes will go on to play sports professionally, which is why their education is so important. What they learn through reading and through the classroom prepares them for life after sports. So pick up a book and help set your kids on the path to opportunity.
As we welcome you back, a new pitcher into the ball game, Michael DeMoe, the junior from Orlando, Florida, making his 8th appearance of the season. He hasn't pitched in a game since the beginning of May. He comes in with a 10-run lead. West Florida, though, they've put 4 on the board already and multiple runners on base. And Tyler Dowdy at the plate. 30 hits in this game, 24 runs. If you came to this game hoping to see a pitcher's duel, you have not today. It's been a tough day for West Florida batting. We're trying to find some momentum here late. And that's key because they will have to play a Lee University team coming off of what looks like it'll be a defeat. Again, you never know. Tyler Dowdy at the plate, 0 for 3 today, a couple of strikeouts and a ground ball double play. He could use something positive here late in the day. Oh, 0-2 pitch upcoming for DeMoe. As we mentioned, from Orlando, Florida, went to Timber Creek High School. He transferred from Palm Beach State College prior to the 2020 season, did DeMoe. And here's an interesting stat I have been waiting to use all tournament long. DeMoe shares a birthday with the broadcaster. He was born in 1997. I was born in 94, but we both share a birthday on December 10th. It was one of those nifty stats that you find on the end of a website. And you hope that at some point, maybe you use it. And I get to. Maybe I need to get his number after the game, and I can text him and wish him a happy birthday this year. A ball and 2 strikes, 1 out, 17-7 the score as we continue to work in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dowdy has now worked the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. 17-7 now. The Argos, though, making things interesting late, and it's been a good day for Matthew Estrada as we see Dowdy strike out for the 3rd time. Estrada picking up 3 hits in this game. The last time he did that was back against Spring Hill. He had 3 hits in a 13-3 win for the Argos back on March 9th. A good day for him personally, but certainly he would have traded that for the win. And that brings up True Fontenot, a couple of runners on. Fontenot is singled in the game, 1 for 3 entering this at bat. DeMoe striking out the first batter he faces in today's ball game. It was a hit by pitch of Jack Shad that would ultimately force Joe Urso's hand as he had to go to his pen late in this game, something no coach wants to do in a blowout game. Looking ahead, though, to the 9th inning, it'll be the heart of the lineup due up. West Florida, they'll still have at least one more opportunity to bat as they're the home team today. This game got started at 3 p.m. today. And as we've crossed the 6 o'clock hour here, local time, a lengthy game. That'll bits outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And still with a little bit of time left to go in this one. We were here for well north of 5 hours last evening for that West Florida game that had a couple of delays, a light delay as well as a lightning delay. But this one perhaps challenging for the longest game of the tournament that we've seen so far. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Fontenot continuing to battle at the plate. Fontenot, he comes from a very athletic family. His brother plays soccer here for the University of West Florida. He's got some athletic younger siblings. He comes from Tallahassee, Florida. Played his high school ball at Leon High School. He had a tough year last year at the plate in his freshman year, but this year he's been good. He'll fly out, though, to right field to end the inning. West Florida, though, scores 4. They trail by 10 as we head to the 9th here at Jim Spooner Field.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Holmes.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
As we welcome you back, top of the 9th inning here at Jim Spooner Field. And Tampa coming back to bat. We're going to get a pinch hitter here, Mikey Navarrete, who comes in and pitch hits for Drew Earhart. Navarrete making his 19th appearance on the season. He'll pinch hit to lead it off. The right-hander will face Robert Sherlock, who would come on to pick up the final 2 outs of last inning. Sherlock hasn't appeared in a game since April, making an appearance here today. Navarrete puts a jolt into that one, but right at Dunham and left. He takes a couple steps to his right. Make that his left, and he'll make the catch for the first out here in the 9th. Looking ahead for West Florida as it currently stands, be the top of the lineup, DeMore, O'Shea, and Menhennet to bat in the bottom of the 9th inning. Sherlock, he's been good since coming in. Picked up a couple of outs to end last inning on a line drive double play to end the inning. We've seen now 2 4-3 line drive double plays in this game. Not something you see very often. Both of those have been hit into by Tampa in this game. One of the lone blemishes in what has been nearly a perfect day offensively. Another pinch hitter here now as Nick Durr comes in. Tampa emptying the bench here in the 9th inning, as this game looks like it is well in hand. Durr pinch hitting for Lyons, who exits this game. He was on base once today, 1 for 4. It looks like we'll have another pinch hitter on deck as well. Nick Durr, the senior out of Lakewood Ranch, Florida, went to Sarasota High School. He's a transfer from Florida State University. He was a draft pick of the Cincinnati Reds in the 33rd round of the 2016 player draft. Ended up sticking to his commitment, though, at Florida State University. He appeared in 100 games at FSU, making 70 starts before making his way to the University of Tampa. He's appeared in 70 games across his first 2 seasons at Tampa, 19 now this year. He was 0 for 3 yesterday against Lee University, a couple of strikeouts. Smart kid, a couple of Sunshine State Conference Commissioner's Honor Roll nominees. He's one of those guys that you love having on the team. He's a gamer, but he also brings some good academics to the team, helps the team GPA. He'll ground out to Sherlock, who gets off the mound and throws it to first to just get Durr. A 1-3 put out for the second out here in the 9th.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for the first baseman, Sullivan. Number 23, John Malcolm.
John Malcolm will pinch hit now for the first baseman, Sullivan. 3 consecutive pinch hitters here in the 9th inning. Malcolm will probably stay in the game at first base. That would make a lot of sense, as we still have a bottom of the 9th here to play, with West Florida being the home team. John Malcolm, a sophomore out of Detroit, Michigan. He started his college career at the Vanderbilt University, one of the top baseball teams in the country, before ultimately heading to State College of Florida and finally to the University of Tampa. He was a 2017 perfect game All-American. You don't oftentimes see a lot of great baseball up in Michigan, though, the cold temperatures, but one of those cold weather players that's had a lot of success. His Detroit Country Day School team was top 5 in the nation during that 2017 season. He appeared in just 2 games at Vanderbilt University before heading to State College of Florida for that 2020 season. A big guy, though, in that left-handed batter's box. 6'3", 230 is Malcolm. Coach Urso, before this tournament, talked about the left-handed bats that he can bring off his bench, and Malcolm, one of those, hitting .310 on the season. He'd started most of the year, but choosing to go with Sullivan in these regionals. Malcolm the other way. DeMore, the throw across the diamond in time to get him. A 1-2-3 inning for Robert Sherlock. He's come in and pitched well in a blowout game. 17-7 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. For now, DeMore looks likely to lead it off. As we come back out for the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Kyle DeMore who leads it off the top of the lineup for West Florida due up. Colin O'Shea on deck for West Florida, and Dylan Menhenant in the hole. DeMore, he singled and would come around to score in that 8th inning in his first plate appearance of the day. Robert Sherlock, he was good at the end of this game. Came in through an inning and 2/3, a hit. No walks and a strikeout. Malcolm gave that one a look, but unable to make the play. Malcolm staying in the game at first base. Nick Durr goes to left field in for Lyons, and Navarrete in at third. Oh, 2 pitch upcoming. Michael DeMoe coming in to pick up the final 2 outs of that 8th inning. He would strike out Tyler Dowdy before inducing a flyout by Trufantino. DeMore, a tapper to the left side. Navarrete, fresh into the game. He'll throw to first. Malcolm has to stretch a bit, but he'll make the play for the first out of the inning. DeMore down now. 1 for 2. More than likely will be the end of his day. An out in the 9th inning as Colin O'Shea comes to bat for his 5th plate appearance. 0 for 3 today, a walk and scored in that 8th inning. The Argos batting around in that 8th inning, having their best offensive inning of the day. West Florida going to have to bounce back, though. They're going to have to play Lee University, who are sitting down in the party deck. They've been able to get back to the hotel, maybe get a shower, and get back out here to the ballpark. That game will take place after this one. Originally it was scheduled at 7 p.m. We tend to believe it's going to start a little after 7. That one will shoot the gap. O'Shea, he'll have at least a double. It'll be a double as he coasts into second. A 1-out double for Colin O'Shea, and he has his first hit of the ball game. For O'Shea, it keeps an 11-game on-base streak alive. He's been on base today now 2 times. That walk and now the double, his first hit. And we'll get a pinch runner now for O'Shea. It'll be Smitty Luttermoser who comes in for O'Shea at second. There haven't been many guys on these teams that haven't entered this game. Luttermoser pinch runs. And that brings up Dylan Menhenant. Menhenant batting for the 5th time. He singled his last time up and would score in the 8th inning, his first hit of the game. 1 for 4 entering this at bat. That ball fouled off down the right side. 0-2 now to Menhenant. DeMoe's pitch, grounded to third. Navarrete sticks with it and throws it across the diamond. And it looks like they're going to say that that ball came out of the glove on the transfer. Malcolm makes a nice pick over there to retire Menhenant. 5-3 put out now for the second out here in the 9th. And that'll bring up Sam Harris, who pinch hit. He would strike out in his lone at bat. That strikeout came against Dalton Ross. It was the first out in the 8th inning. The Argos scored 4 in that inning. The runner on second, Luttermoser, as Harris gets his second at bat. Nick Constantakos started this game, pitched well, kept his team in it, and they were able to explode in a big way in the middle innings. Alex Passarella came in and really shut down the Argos. He'll pick up the victory today. Passarella would improve to 1-1 on the season. He made his 3rd relief appearance of the year here in this game. It'll be Ryan Brewer who will take the loss for West Florida in this one after he goes 5 1/3 and gives up 6 runs. He was making his 12th start of the season. He'll fall to 6-3. And we'll wait to see who the Argos choose to start in the late game this evening. I've heard rumors that you may see Jason Roberts in that game later on, but we will have to wait and see. Harris taps that one off the plate. Malcolm will step on first base, and that will be the end of the ball game. Final pitch taking place at 6:26 this evening. This game got started at 3 p.m., 3 hours and 26 minutes, the time of game. A historic run output for Tampa in this one. They knock off the number 1 team in the nation here today and punch their ticket to the regional final tomorrow. And for West Florida, the path gets increasingly difficult. They have to win in a game that'll start in about an hour here this evening, and then they would have to beat this Tampa team 2 times tomorrow in order to advance to Cary, North Carolina. Tampa improving to 3-0 in the tournament, 19-4 now on the season with the victory. West Florida giving up the most runs since the 2010 season in a game. Here today, they fall to 36-10 on the year. Brewer, the loser in this one, Alex Passarella, improving to 1-1 on the season. Want to thanks to you for sticking with us. 24 runs, 31 hits in this game. We'll see what the late game has in store for Lee University in West Florida. It'll be the 5th time that they have met this year. But for now, we say so long from Jim Spooner Field, and we'll welcome you back in just under